Well, good morning everyone. Can I too start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we gather and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Can I of course acknowledge all of the ministers that are here with us this morning, and that's not all of them. So isn't that wonderful to hear that roll call of senior women who are ministers in the state government. Let's give them all a big round of applause. To the Directors General that are here, but most importantly to our distinguished guests, each and every one of you for coming along today for this very significant event. I'm very passionate about this issue, as you're probably aware, and I really do want to encourage more and more women to step up and get involved. I was having a conversation with a few people last night at the Parliament reception following our Cairns sitting of the Parliament. And a couple of the women were saying to me, but I just don't have the confidence. I just don't know if I could do it. And you know what? The research says that's exactly what women say. Women say, I don't think I've got the qualifications for it. How do I go about it? The men say, I don't care what qualifications I have. I'm confident and I'm going to go and get that job. So I think it's on each and every one of us to encourage and empower each other. And I really want to make sure that our young women and young girls have the best opportunity in this state. And as the Attorney General said, you cannot be what you cannot see. And we need to have strong role models out there in all walks of life. So when we first came to office, we put in place 50% of women in our cabinet. And then we decided to do the same for government boards. And there are a whole different government bodies out there, and you'll hear a bit more about that shortly. And then I thought to myself, well, what else can we do? Well, I thought it's about time we had more women in senior executive roles in our public service. So Rachel Hunter's with me here today. Rachel is the first female head of the Department of Premier and Cabinet in Queensland ever. We also have our Commissioner of Police here, the first female Commissioner of Police in Queensland. We don't have our Chief Justice here, but we've now had two female Chief Justices of Queensland, which is wonderful. And when, you probably don't realise this issue either, but when both Rachel and the Police Commissioner were appointed, their appointments came through with pay levels less than their former male counterparts. So you know what I did? I fixed it up to make it the same. Equal pay for equal work. And that's what we're doing across our public service, and that's what we need to do in our workplaces as well. Now, isn't it exciting that just recently we saw another CEO appointment, and that CEO appointment was Vanessa Hudson for Qantas. She is the first ever to run this company and one of only 7 women in the world to run a company like it. She's worked there for nearly 40 years and her appointment is terrific. But some newspapers noticed this about her appointment. One was that she's a mother of 2. That's great, excellent. The other was that she'll be paid 25% less than the man she replaces. So there we go again, another example of women not being paid equally. And I hope Vanessa fights to get the same amount of money that Alan Joyce got paid. So in Queensland, we're doing a lot of great things. The Attorney General ran a fantastic Women Justice Task Force inquiry, and a lot of great recommendations have come out of that. Our government has been really standing up for the fight against domestic and family violence. Hundreds of millions of dollars transforming the lives of people in this state. But we know that there's a lot more that can be done. We need to make sure that women are valued and that they reach their full opportunities in whatever work they desire. So today, we're on the hunt for talent, and there is so much talent in this room. And you may ask, why are we doing these Women on Boards events in regional parts of our state? Well, there are regional boards, and I want regional representation. If we've got the Cairns Health and Hospital Board, I want people from Cairns on that board. The Cairns Port Board, we want local people on that board. There are a whole range of different other boards, community boards, economic boards. You have the opportunity. So you've seen my ministers here today, and afterwards, please come up and have a chat. We want to get to know you. You'll be able to register as well, and we're actually improving the database so we can actually get more women on boards. I might end on this story. There's a little thing that's coming up in 2032 called the Olympics and Paralympic Games. And when I went over, I was very clear that we had very strong female participation, and they liked the fact that we had a lot of women in government. And so I said that when we set up a board, it will have 50% women. So during the consultation went down to Canberra and across the councils and came back. And just before it was being introduced, being a former lawyer, went through the legislation, there was no 50% women on that board. And I said, fix it up. And now there are 50% women on that Olympic and Paralympic board. So it can be done, and it's up to each and every one of us to ensure that we fight to make sure we have equality. And the final thing is that our cabinet, having women, great women on our cabinet, in our cabinet, makes a huge difference. You know, women get things done. And so do men, but we actually have very supportive men on our cabinet as well. But these women are dynamic. They are out there, they are engaging, and they are fantastic role models. And they bring a wealth of experience to that cabinet table. And I'm very proud to be the Premier of this state and to lead such a dynamic cabinet. So thank you very much everyone for coming. We're going to hear some wonderful guest speakers. We did pass that historic treaty bill this week here in Cairns. I think everyone's still buzzing about that. And this is my last official event. I think it's my 11th official speech. And I couldn't think of a better way to end it. So enjoy. Thank you very much. And Cairns has given us a wonderful welcome.